Welcome and thank you for joining the Miracles Podcast, where we uplift and inspire by sharing our stories and testimonies. So stay tuned for another power-packed episode. Hello, and welcome, Miracles. We have a special guest on the line tonight, Mr. P from Fluff TV. He is a TV host and an up-and-coming music producer. So help me welcome Mr. P. Come on, give it up. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah. Make some noise out there.
So how are you doing?
I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. You know, it's a lovely day. You know, we're finally getting some cooler weather. So,
yes.
You know, I like the cooler weather. I don't like the heat. You know what I'm saying?
Me too. It's been very nice here in North Carolina.
All right. I'm ready to, fire up the fire pit and all that. So,
yes, that sounds amazing. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, I know a little bit about you, but share with some of our viewers and listeners, just some details about you.
Right. So I'm originally from Edenton, North Carolina, which is, right on basically by the coast. And, I graduated high school, started college. And one semester I didn't get a Pell Grant, and my mom was getting on my nerves, so I'm moving. And so, me and my homeboy, we moved up here, and, the plan was to stay here for a few years, but I ended up, staying here since, 2003. So I've been up this way since 2003. And, just living life. I'm married now. You know what I mean? I got married back in April 2013. So, got 7 years in. You know what I mean? No kids, so we chilling. And, just living life. You know what I mean?
So it basically sounds like you're a blessed individual. You have a beautiful wife. Right. It's safe to say that you love Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yes. I mean, when you come from a small town where there's nothing going on, no opportunities, you appreciate the little things. You know what I mean? So definitely, I love the area. I did want to move. I wanted to move at one point because I think all my life I kind of been like a city guy. So I was about to move to like New Jersey or New York. Actually, around the time I met my wife, I was thinking about moving up north. But so of course, got married and we started chilling.
Wow, I don't know why, and don't ask me why, but you just give me that vibe of a New Jersey type of person. You just
I'm telling you, it's like all my life I kind of been that way. Even people that seen me you will ride with me, they were like, "Man, you from up north somewhere." So I always just kind of had that vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. So tell us a little bit about your story, because here at the Miracles Podcast, we tell our stories of how God has just done the impossible in our lives so he can get the glory out of the situation. So is there a particular, testimony that you have that you can share with our listeners to uplift and inspire them?
Well, I'll approach it like this, I personally grew up in a Christian household. That means that both of my parents were saved and really lived it. A lot of people I grew with, their parents said they were Christian as well, but not like mine. Mine were, gospel music only. You had to sneak to listen to, watch BET or anything like that. In church, read, my punishment sometimes was go read Proverbs, stuff like that. And so I grew up in that, and I had some type of relationship with God, but I think And even before that, I felt like God, always had His hand on me and protected me. I've been hit by a car 3 times when I was younger. Had guns pulled out on me. Accidents. Like so, there's been different things where I saw God's hand and protection over me. But I would say for people out there watching, it's like sometimes, though we may see, God protecting us or see His hand in our lives, we don't uh, really know Him. We more so know religion, and I would say whatever you may be going through, just listen, because a lot of times we think that we don't understand when people say hear from God. But I would say for me, when I was going through a like bad breakup and dealing with heartbreak, that's personally when I like really heard God, like, not audible, but it was very clear. And I just remember, I'll never forget, I was working and I was walking, I was thinking about this girl, and I just heard God say, the way you love her is the way I love you. And I was just, it kind of like, it gave me a little goosebumps, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, and, he kept, sharing this with me. And I was like, man. And so I just, from that point, I learned to share with people, it's almost like a relationship, right? A lot of times we get so hurt by people. We have these expectations of people. But if we understood that how much God really loved us, wanted a relationship with us, then we would change, our approach to the situation. You know what I mean? And in that, just know that, God, He loves you, He cares for you, He wants a relationship with you. And He just, He want to walk with you, even when you're doing wrong, you know what I mean? Even when, you're not being obedient, you know what I mean? So, just realize that. That's what I would say.
That's awesome. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I know that's going to bless someone because everyone deals with heartache, you know what I mean? And how you showed and
Right.
expressed about how God, expressed His love personally for you. That's how He feels about all of us. So I thank you so much for sharing that. He used that heartache, you know what I mean? He used that heartache to just bring His full love, like bring it full circle to your situation, right? So I just thank God for your story. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. It's something about how, God's love, He loves us so much. Like He'll let us even endure, like make our own decisions and just live out our own desires, knowing that it breaks His heart sometimes. And then when we need Him the most, He's right there for us. So He displays that love that we should be, displaying to others. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, you didn't even tell the viewers about your TV show. You didn't share anything about that. So could you share with us how No Fluff TV came about?
Yeah, well, No Fluff TV is really like, so most of your viewers are probably going to be Christian. But I created the platform as a secular platform for 2 reasons. Because if I labeled it Christian, I think that some of the stuff that might be up there would just, they were like, oh no, you sending mixed signals. But I wanted to also have it where Christians or believers, whoever could have a platform to share different things. And so it was supposed to be where I would have my show, Conversations with the P, where we just talk about different subjects, almost like a podcast, so to speak. And then I wanted to include other things where I had a marriage show, where actually it was a Christian couple, just talking about their struggles and how they got through working through different things. That didn't work out that well. I think they started having health issues and stuff, so we didn't continue that. Then I had the money moments with Mark. He started that, and then it transitioned into him bringing someone along, and they had their show just to kind of give some, financial education to the community, just different things like that. And also, I wanted to be able to interview different artists, entrepreneurs, authors, cooks, whoever, them to be on the show. And so a lot of the artists that really, reach out and want to come on are secular artists. So, but just know it's a platform for everyone. So whether you believe or you don't believe, whether you're gay or straight, you can come on Fluff TV, and you can have a platform to share, I guess your story, your view, or whatever. So it's open to everybody, you know what I mean? So like you've been on, I've had Christian artist, rapper Capello, he's been on. I've actually have a series called Who is God? I think that's like 7 parts. So, you got that up there, and then you had some regular stuff. So, No Fluff TV is to entertain and educate.
Awesome. So where can they find No Fluff TV?
YouTube, man. YouTube. Go to YouTube, search No Fluff TV. Instagram. If you just go to my Instagram, I got all my links in the bio. The SoundCloud, you have, Link It TV, YouTube, all of that. It's right there. Just go to Instagram, No Fluff TV, NOFLUFF TV.
And y'all, he keeps it real. He keeps it real on No Fluff TV. So just
you got to. It's no fluff. It's
so
no fluff.
Brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. It's very entertaining.
Right. But also too, like I think what happens with a lot of people that are in the church or whatever, they're not having honest conversations. And that's what No Fluff is about, honest conversation. And I think some people, if they want to deal with what really is going on with a person, have a real conversation.
Right. That's true. Because when I came up there, y'all, he thought I was going to be scared of the questions. I was not scared.
Yeah, you held it down. You held it, even though you did kind of fluff on one of them, but I'll let you roll with it.
I think I remember.
So go watch the interview. Watch the interview. You'll see what I'm talking about.
But it was one of the most in-depth interviews I've ever had. I must say that, and I enjoyed it. It was very fun, very much fun, and I appreciate the realness. So yeah, y'all go check it out. Yeah. Go check it out. Yeah. So, being that you are all about no fluff, I want to ask your opinion on the new Cardi B song, WAP. Like, how do you feel about it as a Black male? And how do you feel about, women being exploited in the media?
So that is a very layered question, I think. But what I will say is that, honestly, if people should not be upset about the song. I know there's like a whole bit uproar about the song, but honestly, I think my age right now, I'm in my later 30s, right? When I grew up, I can nearly had the song, and if I'm not gonna say the title, but we were listening to that song when we were in middle school. Don't forget, Lil' Kim had an album, Hardcore, when she came out. So do not talk about Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, because when we were younger, we were listening to the same, if not worse, stuff. So I wasn't shocked by it. Now, do we see a lot of the sexualization of women? in the media, they that gets a whole lot of yes. And of course, we've always been told sex sells. And so whatever you can sell, especially here in America, people will buy it. And if people can buy it, they're gonna sell it. That's just how it works. Whether you're talking about, something that's like Facebook ads, they're adding because people are buying. They know you are there. You're on their platform, and they can sell you something they would try to sell. From that to in the grocery store, the way aisles are set up and everything displays, it's on purpose because they know what you're buying had to sort and everything. So sex sales, and of course women with the content like Megan and Cardi B rap about, they're gonna put that at the forefront.
Right. And I also think as long as we're living like in a broken society, a broken world,
Right.
we're going to continually see things like that. So,
Right.
Just like you said, back in the day when I was growing up as well, Lil' Kim was the number one. Like
Right.
I want to say she almost started that kind of era, her and Foxy Brown, because even back in the 80s, like the female rappers, they were a little bit more reserved or discreet. Like you had Queen Latifah, you had MC Light, you had
Right.
Moni in the middle, and they were just Salt and Pepper was a little risque, but still they they knew their boundaries, and like some of their radio hits weren't as extreme as the album was, but now it's just evolving to another level. So that's why it's important for us to just be conscious of how we're raising our children, because the Bible, tells us to train up a child in the way that they should go, like you were. So yeah, I just think we're going to continue to see that as long as we live in this broken society.
And we're gonna I think we're gonna see it a whole lot more. Like, if people consider this, right? Yes, when we grew up, we heard these songs on the radio, but they were blurred out a whole lot.
Right.
And so we only knew edited versions of certain songs. Like even now, some of the older songs I hear, I only know the
right
in the day. Even consider, I heard a song from like 1937. It was just as explicit as Cardi B and Meg's song, and somebody found it, and of course they shared it. But yeah, it's just as explicit, and this was like the 30s. So I mean, it's always been around. It's something that we have to deal with. But I think what parents should do, and even people who have influence over the youth, we have to do more than say, don't listen to that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that was one of the things that I kind of ran into. Hope I'm not being long-winded. But when I was doing, at my old church, Solid Rock Ministries, I was like a youth leader there for a number of years. And so I was used to the parents saying, or even other leaders saying, don't listen to that stuff, but they never gave them an alternative. You know what I mean? Like, we want to take something away, but we don't want to give them something else. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of like when your child want to play with a knife. You know what I mean? It's like, take the knife away from them and give them a toy. If they don't want a toy, give them a spatula. They'll play with that. You know what I mean? So, like, we have to get in tune with other Christian artists, positive, even if you don't want to do the Christian artists, other positive artists that are out there. They have, there's plenty of artists and entertainers out there that they can be influenced by. Just, you got to hand it to them. You know what I mean? You show them another way.
Right. That's why it's so important of even how we live our lives before them, because we're their first influencers. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's very important. Even just to go back of how you express your gratitude towards your parents and how they live their life, just says a lot.
Right.
So, what can we expect from you in the future?
Right now, just I'm just gonna keep going with this channel. You know what I mean? Like, I'm, I'm getting, I think good support and views. More people are reaching out to come on. So just if you watch that, you'll know what I have coming in the future. It's plenty interviews, conversations. I try to have something come out every week if possible. But yeah, just trying to expand. Get more people involved. Hopefully, get more shows that are consistent on the channel. Because I want it to be not just about me. Because a lot of times people want to promote themselves, but I want to be able to have a platform to where everyone can have a voice, and it's not about me. And so, I want them to be people to be able to come on, share their story, share their heart, and go from there.
Yes. So if you all want to share your story, reach out to No Fluff TV, Mr. P at
Yeah.
No Fluff TV. So
Yes. Yeah.
last thing, how do you, besides the show, how do you seek to uplift and inspire people?
Um, I think honestly, just being real. I know that sounds cliche, but a lot of us aren't used to genuine people, and so that's what I kind of focus on: being genuine. Being honest. Having integrity, and I think when people see those things, they start to wonder like, what's up with this guy? I mean, it's just you don't have to um, put everything on like front street there, because a lot of times when you're doing that, you just front. But if you're really who you are, that'll shine through. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And you are a very genuine person. I appreciate that. You very much are.
yeah, yeah. I appreciate it. Same to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank
I,
you.
I I thought it was dope that you asked me to come on, because I'm like, oh, she got a wild boy. Yeah.
Uh, it's an honor to have you on the show. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all
Yes.
keep supporting Miracles Podcast, man. You know what I mean? Keep sharing. You know what I mean? Share that thing to your Facebook. All your aunties and cousins and them out there. Get them to sharing this thing, and you know what I mean? We need to run those numbers up, because listen, the Christian media needs to be elevated so that people know it's out there.
Right.
Because a lot of times we want to complain about this mess on TV, this mess on the internet, and stuff like that. If we promote the positive, we promote the good, then we don't have to always say it's all negative. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to your future interviews and everything that God has in store for you and your wife. So thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
Well, Miracles, that is all. Well, did you want to tell your Instagram handles and your Facebook handles for the people?
Yeah, this is No Fluff TV everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, all of that.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mr. P from No Fluff TV, for coming on. And remember, Miracles, if you are breathing, if you have life, you are a miracle. So share your story. That's all for now. See you next time. Bye.